Modern mindfulness practices can function in several different ways. Mindfulness practices can be applied as an intervention, or you could say as a way to self-regulate. For example, often when I'm feeling overwhelmed, in a difficult headspace, or just feeling stuck in my head, I do this walking meditation as a way to get unstuck, clear my head, and reset. Mindfulness practices can also be a doorway to experiencing deep fulfillment. Sometimes when I'm walking in the woods, or even through just a parking lot, I practice mindful walking and something ordinary catches my eye: the textured bark on a tree, the jagged crack in the pavement, and I'm struck with inexplicable joy and satisfaction. These moments offer me a spontaneous sense of gratitude, a feeling of connection and belonging. Mindfulness in the more traditional sense is a path to greater insight. As our concentration, clarity, and equanimity deepen, our habitual ways of seeing, hearing, and feeling begin to break down, and we're more prone to insights that can profoundly transform how we experience our life. Whatever your intention is, mindful walking can be a powerful practice that can be really easily woven into your daily life. So for this walking meditation, if you have a smartphone, you can listen to this recording with headphones while you're walking. Or you can listen to the recording on a device before going for a walk and then follow the instructions you just heard. Feel free to do this practice anywhere, outside, in the woods, in a gym, your own living space, on your way to class or work, wherever. This practice can also be done in a wheelchair, on a bike, in a car, or during any kind of movement. It's safe to do because it actually helps us to be more aware. And although the instructions will include the senses of sight and sound, if you do not see or hear, this meditation can be done with whichever senses you use to navigate the world. Before we begin walking, here are the basic instructions. As we walk, I'll invite you to begin to notice what you see with your eyes, what you hear with your ears, and what you feel with your physical body. So we'll be working with these 3 physical sense categories: see, hear, and feel. We'll start the walk by acclimating to each of these sense categories. Then I'll invite you to let your attention free float between the physical senses. If your attention is drawn to something you see, like a traffic sign, a branch, or a person walking by, in your mind, you can label that as see, and then for a few seconds, allow your attention to explore that experience of seeing. If your attention is drawn to something you hear, like the sound of wind, a siren, or a bird chirping, in your mind, you can label that as hear, and then for a few seconds, bring your full attention to that sound. And if your attention is drawn most predominantly to a physical body sensation, like the pressure of your feet as you walk, the cool wind on your face, or the feeling of your clothing, you can label that as feel. And again, for a few seconds, saturate your attention with that sensation in your body. I'm often asked about smell. Yes, we'll include smells in the category of feel as another body experience, just for simplicity's sake. So you'll find a rhythm of noticing which sense category your attention is drawn to most predominantly. You'll label it, see, hear, or feel, and then explore that experience for a few seconds. If at any point you notice your attention is pulled to more than one sense category at a time, just choose one to label and explore with your attention. And you can just walk naturally at whatever pace feels comfortable. Okay, let's begin. We can start walking. So first we're going to acclimate to the 3 sense categories. We'll start with feel. Begin to notice your feet on the ground as you're walking. Notice the pressure. Now begin to notice any other physical body sensation that you feel with your body. Wind on your face, warmth, coolness, texture of clothing, the smell of a nearby chocolate factory. Whenever you notice a physical body sensation, label it with the word feel, and then explore that body sensation for a few seconds. So when you notice a body sensation, you'll label it feel. Explore that body sensation for a few seconds, really pouring your attention into that experience. And then open to the next body sensation. It might be the same body sensation or a new sensation. And just keep a rhythm going. So let's do that for a minute or so with the category of feel. Okay. Now let body sensations be in the background, and bring your attention to what you see around you. Whenever you notice something you see, you can label it using the word see. Explore seeing for a few seconds, and then open to what you see next. Again, it could be the same thing or something new. So just try that out for a minute or so with the label see. And now sights and body sensations can be in the background, and purposely bring your attention to sounds in the world around you. When you notice a sound, label it with the word hear, and then pour your attention into hearing that sound fully. Hear the sound with your ears, and just keep a rhythm going of noticing a sound, labeling it here, and then pouring your attention into it. Okay, we'll try that for a minute or so. Okay, so now that you're acclimated to these three separate sense categories, we're going to open to all three together. If at any point it feels overwhelming, or you just want to go back to noticing, labeling, and exploring just one sense category, feel free to just stick with that. But if you'd like, I invite you to allow your attention to free float between these three categories: see, hear, and feel. Notice where your attention is drawn. Label it see, hear, or feel. And then allow your attention to be absorbed into that sense for a few seconds. And then again, notice where your attention is drawn and repeat the process. Notice, label, explore for a few seconds. Remember, if your attention is pulled into more than one sense category at a time, you can just choose one to label and explore. So we'll try that out for a few minutes. And if you find yourself lost up in your head, no problem. Just come back to noticing what you see, hear, or feel. And start the process again. Notice, label, explore for a few seconds. And if you notice a struggle, like your attention keeps on pulling back to your thoughts, that's super normal. Just kindly acknowledge that mindfulness is a practice and recommit to the process. It might be helpful to say the label see, hear, or feel more loudly in your mind. You can still use a kind voice, just a bit louder, so the thoughts get less of your attention. And there's no need to push the thoughts away or judge yourself for having thoughts. Thoughts are natural. We're just learning how to unhook by anchoring in the physical senses. So as you're walking, just notice what it's like to really engage with the physical world around you. What's it like to really see? What's it like to really hear? And what's it like to really feel? What's it like to let go of thinking about what you see, hear, or feel, and just enjoy actually experiencing it more and more fully? So feel free to just continue the practice as you walk, or you can just allow the practice to resonate into the next moments of your day.